Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We had 2-day trades today, very quick, and we're taking a look at a few swing trades. Something we'll take a look at next week, potentially entering into. So this is the lithium ETF. This gapped and rallied to plus 2.3% PLS. Now this I thought was really interesting. Not often do I get this kind of discrepancy on match, and I'm not much of a match trader these days because of the new changes. But tell me if you guys agree with this. From previous close, it opens up at 0.64%. Tell me you don't just by fucking default decide to buy this on match. I thought there was going to be a little bit of pre-market fuckery and then it'll kind of, gap up to like 2%. But no, it didn't. It just was stuck here at 0.64 and I thought, fantastic. Now, a couple of caveats around this. First of all, Fridays tend to be a terrible day for me. Tends to be less catalysts. And the catalysts that do come out tend to be shitty for whatever reason. I think that's just a me problem. But when I don't trade catalyst news events, because there's usually just a lack of them, I tend to go to commodities, or commodity-based stocks. So PLS, obviously lithium. You can see the difference between lithium price and where it's opening. Even though the lithium price was 2.3%, and this hit a peak of 2.2, it's not like a one-to-one thing. It's not like, hey, the ETF went to 2.3, therefore this should go to 2.3. But there's a big delta. There's a big gap between where it opened and where it probably realistically should be, or where it should get to. And you can see by the end of the day, like that auction, what the fuck? What the fuck? It gaps in auction to 1.4. Wow. So what's that for the end of the day? 2.5. Like that's probably where the stock should have been at some point today. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, so grabbed it on match and then started scaling out where the VWAP would have been, the 2-day VWAP plus the fact that it was pumping so fast towards 2.3%. I was like, okay, well, if I can get to 2, brilliant, and then just cut. So really happy with that. That was a lot quicker than I expected. What my expectation was that it might actually dip because it was opening so low, so weak. I was actually expecting a dip and then rally. So I was, I didn't go full size because I just don't really match trade. I avoid it where I can because of the slippage, the gap and liquidity's poor and all that shit. Ever since they changed the staggered opens, it's been pretty bad. But that is what it is, and I'm just really happy that it turned out the way it did. Uranium was not particularly crash hot in terms of percentage for the day. However, it did gap down and then rally for a total of almost 4%. So I thought that was pretty significant, even though it closed at almost 1.2% from the prior day. So I thought that bit of a gap and rally would have been something. So I got PDN. PDN, and you can see it didn't really do much today. So I ended up just cutting it very, very shortly after opening. So I don't even know if I covered brokerage. If I'm not going to lie, I don't even know. The moment it just went up, I just started cutting. I was like, it's just not great. There wasn't too much momentum. And what is that? It opened up at 1.5 and just cut it closer to 2. And it was not a trade worth taking. Again, you're probably wondering, well, it's only up 1.2%. Why would you take a trade when it's gapping up? Or was it 1.5, 1.7? Because of that 4% rally that it did. So that's why I pointed that out. It did gap down a rally. I thought there was a bit of strength behind that and a bit of significance to what would happen today. Evidently, not really. So intraday there's probably 1% to make on the drive. Or, it didn't end up working out the way I thought it might. But at the end of the day, it didn't lose money. So happy days. The swing trades that we're looking at, LTR is a standout. The daily chart on this is just lovely. I was eyeing this off. I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know. I probably should have, if not small size. Just swing it back up. There's not much in the way of resistance, unless the commodity prices shift overnight. Otherwise, I don't know what else to say. It's quite clean. I think if there is a little gap down, and then I'll have to look at the price of lithium for Monday, or for this evening for the trade on Monday, and see what's going on there. And maybe if it gaps down a little bit, maybe yesterday's VWAP or something, 2.4, that'd be great. And then just see if it can punch through. And then I would consider a long there. That'd be fantastic. Because lately what's been happening is there are a bit of like gap downs that punch through, kind of like this nickel trade. I mean, this has been doing it every day. It's giving me the shits. It's Yeah, so just gap, drop, rally. This one gapped up actually, rallied and then dropped in the afternoon. So that kind of gave me the shits too. Like I said, high share and issue. Fucking trades like dog shit. We're looking at SOL as well. I don't want to dwell too much on nickel. It hasn't done too much, but this looks very, very interesting. Depending on how it opens up on Monday, might take this one for a push through to retest this 44.50 level. And you know me, I'm not going to queue up on the sell side at 44.50. No, 44.97, 44.95. You know what? I might even chuck a few 666 shares just in the order book so you guys can find the demon in the book. You guys can spot me. Just do partials of 666. And yeah, actually, fuck, not a bad idea. I might start doing that. But yeah, this just looks really good. Just this looks like easy money for me. We'll see how it behaves on Monday. But I really do think there is a very depending on the gap again. But I think there's a clean dollar move there to be made. So yeah, it's not exciting. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to make not going to make millions on it, but I think it's for me. I think I'll consider that quite safe money. We have DBI. This one I'm not too sure on. I'd have to dig into it a little bit more. It's I'd have to look into probably the industry and all that, and just see what sector it is. I've never heard of it. Dalrymple Bay Infrastructure. It doesn't ring a bell. That's a fucking monster. And it just seems to be moving faster and higher, and it's not too parabolic. And unless you zoom out, then yeah, okay. This looks fantastic. This looks like it's going to hit a blow off top at some point. And it probably won't be any time too soon. Like, it won't be like tomorrow or next week or anything like that. But this looks like it's on a bit of a parabolic trajectory, and that's lovely. I'd love to catch a piece of this to the upside. I think anyone that shorts this would be an absolute fucking retard on the front side. Like, there's zero signs of weakness on this thing. And it's funny because I know there's going to be a handful of people that watch this video and go, I'd short that. Yeah, it's because you're a fucking idiot. There's zero indication of shorting this, mind you. And even as it gaps down, it rallies here. And when it does come off, like, doesn't even really break a level. It just gaps one day. I'm assuming it had news, and then it just went fuck you and rallied straight away. It's insanely strong. The only time maybe is honestly I don't even think that is a justifiable short. Maybe when you get to here, like this pivot, this would be a clear short here if it went below. But look at that, like a little fake out below. I don't even know if I'd call that a fake out, to be honest. Just a little tickle below, right into a fuck you vertical. Absolutely gorgeous. And then it just, yeah, even at the highs here, it did a pullback and just went, nah, see you later, mate. Absolutely beautiful. I think getting this to $6, this might actually take a month or two. This might be till like August to get there, but I think it's doable. Like August, and what is that? So it depends on what it opens at. 8%. That's not too bad for a couple of months. I'd have to look more into where I'd get the entry and how to manage this risk, because this kind of did bounce in the middle of nowhere. There's not really a level here of any kind. It's not. I don't think there's even a trend line or even close to the trend line. Nothing. Yeah. Wow. This would honestly, for me, I think I would just get a starter on Monday, and then I'd pay attention to this level and then add on as it broke. And then once it broke, I don't know, maybe like 10 cents, I'd have a stop. I'd have to look at how well it holds the brakes. Looks like it does tend to hold brakes quite nicely. Just having a look at prior pivots. Yeah, it tends to hold it very tight on the brakes. Obviously not here because it pulled back stronger, but I mean, that's after several waves. Yeah, I think for me, I'd like, just talking out loud, yeah, I think I would just keep like a 3-tick stop, and depends on how it opens. I mean, that's fine. My good entry add on, that'll be the buffer. Yeah, I think that's really nice. The more I look at it, the more I'm talking myself into getting it. Again, I'll see on Monday how it goes. AI1. This one. I had this on the list of things to pay attention to, but it got away from me. I was meant to look into what this company does, because these kind of move, rally tends to just Sorry, let me draw that again. Rally, retrace, rally, usually ends in some kind of death spiral. And it happens on a lot of micro cap stocks that kind of play. Now this falls more into the small cap space because it's trading at what, 200 mil. I think this is 300 mil to 200 mil. Yeah, so this is more like a small cap space. I'm a little bit less familiar with this. I'd be more comfortable if I looked at their financials and I looked at what they did rather than purely a chart play, because these, again, in the smaller caps that you go, this setup, especially when it comes all the way back down to retest this pivot point right here, tends to fail, I would say, far more often than 50%. Like, I would not be comfortable buying this on a micro cap that's below 80 mil market cap, or maybe even below 100, something like that. But maybe, and look, shit, it was like a micro cap not long ago, 30, 40 mil. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, actually. I really don't know, because this is kind of what I'm talking about, and it's not quite the same. But you know, imagine this was one move, you had a pivot, and it just wouldn't hold. It'll just pump, and then fail. But that's kind of my expectation of stuff especially exponential stuff like this, where it just rallies really hard. I did have it on my list to pay attention because I was eyeing it off at this sort of 18, 17 and a half level. Didn't get it. Just watching, just interested in how it goes. Maybe as a reference point for next time I trade something in this sort of maybe sector in this market cap range. More of a learning thing than anything, I think, just paying attention to this. AI1, sorry. So that'd be interesting, I think, to pay attention to next week, just see how it trends. And then the next time I see this setup, I might actually be more proactive and taking the support level. Or maybe in hindsight, maybe I could have just taken it and every tick fucking matters. That's the problem with these teen stocks in the sort of 17, 18 cent range. It's far worse around 13. 18 is a bit more manageable. 17, 18 is more manageable. But every tick really fucking hurts if you get it wrong. So, and then it's like, well, how much do you give it? Do you really give it one tick? No, because you will get ticked out. Do you give it 2 ticks? Maybe. 3 ticks? Fuck, that's getting expensive. You know, from 7, let's say you take it 18 or 18 down to 15. Like, fuck, that's expensive. It's so expensive. I don't even know what that is as a percentage, but it sounds bad. 18 minus 15 divided by 18, 16.6. Yeah, that's too much. I don't know. We'll just take a look at this, see how it goes on Monday. All right. Actually, maybe smaller size would be the correct answer for this. I'd have to think about it more. All right, guys. Hopefully some of this was somewhat insightful. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out. Have a good weekend.